Welcome to another episode of Practical Astrology for You. I am your friend Tapan. Today I will be talking solely about Jupiter and its significances and importance in astrology. First of all, everyone knows that without Jupiter, nothing can sustain. It is one of the biggest planets on the universe, and on top of that, in astrology also, it holds the most significant role since it's the Karaka of 5 houses: second house, 5th house, 9th house, 10th house, and 11th house. I won't be talking about the other planets. So, whenever it comes to the fructification of the 11th house result, it is mostly Jupiter. And then on top of that, if it comes to the second house, means the savings, Jupiter is the sole Karaka of that house. So that shows that Jupiter holds a significant power, role in everybody's life, even if it is not a Karaka of that particular horoscope, because the ascendant could be different, but even then it is the natural Karaka of second house, so it holds importance. So one has to understand and see how things work for them. So anyhow, everyone has to take the blessings of Jupiter, because even if any other planet could be the Karaka of the second house for a particular horoscope, but still Jupiter holds the key to that house. So you all can understand that astrology as such, I always say that it is very simple, but it is not as simple as I speak about. It's very complicated. I try to simplify that for everyone, and I try to focus on the core issues, because most of the time people have to face severe challenges in life, and you can't focus on the smaller nitty-gritties until unless you don't solve the bigger issues. You can't become focused on the minute details. So that's why I start with Rahu, Ketu and Saturn. Then only you can rise up till that level of Jupiter. And mostly, since Jupiter is very soft planet, mellow planet, even if Rahu, Ketu or Saturn casts shadow, if it sees from any house, if this is falling on Jupiter, or if it is sitting with Jupiter, then Jupiter becomes weak, and it fails to give results. Because today only someone asked me, a girl from Prayagraj, that tell me something about my horoscope also. So I couldn't make a video as such, because I don't have that much of time to make a video, but I will be discussing a bit of her horoscope. As such, her horoscope is not bad. She is having a Virgo ascendant, and moon is posited in the 8th house, Aries sign. So she is Aries by moon sign and Virgo by ascendant, and her Jupiter is posited in the 9th house with Saturn. Her Mercury is in the 10th house. Her Venus, her Mars, her Sun and Rahu is in the 11th house, and Ketu is in the 5th house. That's how her horoscope is. So you all can imagine that she has a combust Mars, and the Bhagyesh is sitting with Sun, and Sun is the 12th house lord. So she spends a lot of money, means she can't save a lot of money. So when it comes to, when mostly these type of horoscope come to me, means people come with these type of problems, which other people, these come by, what to say, by default to me actually. It's not, these are destined to come to me actually. Most of the clients who come to me, they come with a problem regarding Ketu, or either Ketu or Saturn. Mostly people with the problem of Ketu and Saturn come to me. Why? Because that I am destined with those type of planets. No, means the problem I am facing basically in my horoscope, because I have many aspects in my horoscope. So these are destinies. You will be meeting your destiny one day or the other. So even if I have become an astrologer, these type of cases will be very often coming to me. So Jupiter is sitting with Saturn. So when she consulted me, that means my Jupiter started, means her Saturn started hindering my path. So basically I didn't told her regarding any, it's not because I didn't want it to, because she told me that in her younger age she was good in studies, but later on her studies was not so good. Why? Because the fifth house lord is Saturn, and you all can understand the fifth house lord is Saturn and the ninth house lord is Venus. So when she moved to the higher studies, the things were not so smooth for her. So things change actually. Means when you don't have the power to understand a horoscope so easily. Because people say, okay, it's so easy. Why I was not? I was good in my younger age in studies, but later on it didn't. I couldn't do that well, because Saturn is the hindrance. It doesn't like studies a lot. Even if it would have been the Bhagyesh, it would have been the same thing. Means someone having a fifth house lord or ninth house lord as Saturn, her higher education won't be so good. It should be Jupiter, Mercury, Venus, these type of planets fare very well for higher studies. Even Mars is not so suitable for higher studies. So it depends upon the planets, which is your fifth house lord, which is your ninth house lord. So coming back to the main course issue, means she had, that girl had the second house lord as Venus, and that's fairly well for her, even if it's sitting in the profit house. So she will get. So the day I'm coming to the main focus, if her second house lord or 11th house lord Mahadasha starts, things will start changing for her. Anyone, means I'm just taking her horoscope. So any horoscope, if that basic things come into effect, and after marriage, when she will get married, her Jupiter will get activated. So she will start having savings. Actually, there was another issue with which I didn't told her, because that was not in her hand. When she turned 18, and that time only her moon Mahadasha started. You see, the Mahadashas, we don't decide those things, no? So naturally it is seen, means which I haven't read in any book, but naturally I have seen that if at the end of the sun Mahadasha, a girl gets married mostly, because the moon Mahadasha, the 10 years, I consider that 10 years as the fertility period of a girl when she will get married and conceive. Mostly it is seen, that is very easy to calculate. Okay, this is the 10 years, in this period that girl will conceive, but she just turned 18 when her moon Mahadasha started, and she should have got married before that. So and Saturn is placed in such a way that her marriage will be delayed. Jupiter is sitting with Saturn, and Saturn is aspecting from 9th house to the 11th house, the third drishti. So her marriage, I told her that your marriage will be getting late. She is not Manglik, still her marriage will be late. So as such, the second house Karaka, the 11th house Karaka of her, means the natural Karaka of 11th house and second house is Jupiter. So that has been sitting with Saturn. So Saturn will delay these two results for her. I told her that. So for anyone, even if you all are any astrologer is following any theory, but if he is omitting the basic theory, then that means he is failing to predict. When you do astrology, you have to predict, you have to see all the corners, and you have to weigh the pros and cons. Being a Libra, for me, I don't think that I am a very good astrologer by bookish means. But when it comes to giving results, I didn't told her, I didn't read any book when she asked for the predictions. whatever I feel, but whatever I feel, never feel whatever I should say, whatever I feel. Means I know that for sure that this will work like this, and this will give results like these only. With practice, I have gained that much of knowledge. It's not now. I don't need book a lot. Means even I haven't made a video regarding any note regarding this. I don't need to prepare notes. I haven't gone through any books. Okay, I will jot down about Jupiter, then I will start speaking on it. No, if I feel like I have to talk, then I am talking. That's the thing. And I know how much I am up to the mark. I won't be missing that train. You all can rely on me. So the first thing is chant the Guru Bij mantra. At least do 12 malas, 108 into 12 on Thursday morning. After getting up, do the course and take bath and sit quietly, face the east direction and do the japa. Every Thursday do that. That will enhance your Guru a lot. Start with Om. Don't start, if anyone is not practicing any mantras, start with Om. At least 43 days. Just do that Om mantra. So that's very important. That's the initiation. Until unless you don't start with Om, don't start with any, and just don't jump to any Bij mantra. So that's why I don't want to give Bij mantras also on YouTube firstly, because people will start with that Bij mantra without knowing the significances and what you need not to do and not need to do in order to start doing that mantra. So start with Om for the first 43 days continuously every day. Morning, get up and take bath. After that, start Om mantra. Whatever time you can spend, there is no counting for Om. If you can sit in Padmasana for 10 minutes, do it for 10 minutes. If you can't sit for 10 minutes, do it for 5 minutes. Whatever time you can invest, you start with that. After 43 days, when you are thorough with Om, because that is the initiation, now you don't have a guru to hold your hand and teach you. Everyone can't afford a guru right now. So start with something, start with Om. That's why you all might have seen the background which I use. There are 2 peacocks, 1 Om. So that background which I am using. So and that's very important. Why? That's above my head, that Om, because that is very important. I am stressing that thing. The main stress area is Om. So every time you all see my video, which I make inside my house, that's Om. I have added a shloka also, Dharmo Rakshati Rakshata. So that's from Manusmriti and Mahabharata. That shows, that tells that mantra that if you save your dharma, dharma will save you. So you all have to understand things. Grow slowly, slowly. If you all are watching my video, I am not passing my time to make a 1-hour video. That takes a lot of energy out of me, and that's for everyone actually. Even if I am discussing someone's horoscope for 5 minutes, that's important. If someone said, okay, discuss in public, that's why I said, okay, if they don't have a problem, I am discussing it. Otherwise, I don't discuss other people's horoscope. So anyone can come to me. It's not that I haven't charged y'all, so I won't be discussing. That's public. When you all said, if someone is wanting it without any charges, that's in public. That's my policy. So focusing back to Jupiter, there is another thing. Means there are many tricks or catch you all can see. How you have to activate your guru. Lal Kitab discusses that thing, and many other people discuss that thing. I don't know how they have reached to that conclusion, but basically I have seen that Guru gets activated until unless either you have a Guru Mahadasha, it started, then your Guru will get activated, obviously. So that way you will be very lucky. Or if someone, she is a female, she gets married, her Guru gets activated. Even we say our father, the girl's father is a Guru before marriage, but I don't take that as a thing. I take that Jupiter after marriage, the husband as Guru. So it happens, her Guru gets activated, so she starts accumulating wealth of the showing the results of the second house. Like I got my, I started getting fruits of my ninth house. My Guru got activated when I was 4, but it was not showing that those results. That result you will get after the second house lord or the planet sitting in the second house Mahadasha starts, because you can't see the result. It's not that it's not active, but until and unless a plant is not giving fruits, it's of no worth. I have a jackfruit tree behind me, it's fruiting right now. So if it didn't had any fruit, it won't have been of any value. So that Jupiter becomes significant only when it gives fruits in the second house. Though that second house is 6th from that Jupiter, that 9th house. Second house is the 6th. Why it gives fruit in that position? Because it's trying to pay its debt. As such, Jupiter doesn't give any result. This how you all understand those things in logically. You all have to understand, decipher everything logically. Why Jupiter gives result in the 6th house from 9th house? Second house is the 6th house. Why it is giving fruit in the second house only? Because it's trying to repay its debt. Every planet has a karmic thing to do. That's why people discuss Lal Kitab, because that's not a book like Vedic astrology, that's different. But many differ to say, okay, we don't like that because that is a bit tantric type of remedies. Many people said like that. Okay, so it varies. It's a black magic book or red magic book. So we don't believe in magics, but that's fine. It's up to your level, means for whatever you consider. Many people will have different aspects of explaining things. I have my own way of discussing things. You all may go to another person and he may have a different logic of explaining that same theory which I am trying to explain you all right now. So the 11th house is the 3rd house. What is the 3rd house? You see, Guru cannot give result properly in the 10th house. What is the 10th house? This 10th house is the karma house, no? So when you count from 9th to 10th house from 9th house, that is the 6th house. Guru doesn't give a good result in that house. So why it doesn't give? Because that's a house of slavery, which I consider. It is not written anywhere, but it's a house of slavery. For me, I consider it that way. But it gives good result in the 5th house, in the 1st house. That means 5th from itself and 9th from itself. So the 2nd house means the 11th house is the 3rd house. These are the basic karmas which we have to fulfill. Means everyone has to fulfill his basic karma. So any planet, if it's the lord of, suppose some planet is the lord of 1st house, so it will give good result in the 3rd house, because he has to fulfill that karma, that basic karma. You can't attain that spirituality, but you have to fulfill, everyone has to fulfill that basic karma. Means if everyone is born on this earth, he has to feed himself. Like these basic things you have to do. So the 3rd house, the 7th house and the 11th house. So the 3rd house is the basic step for anything. So this is the house of Parakramana. No? So the 3rd house from 9th is 11th. So Guru has to give result of that house. So he becomes profitable. He gives, he is the lord for the Karaka of 11th house. That's why he gives profit. So that's why you all have to understand why, what is the logic behind that. Means it promises that thing. It promises the result of 9th house, it promises the result of 10th house, it promises the result of 11th house. Even if it is not, it doesn't fare too much if you consider other planets, if you compare Jupiter with other planets. And why it fails, that's the thing to understand. Means there are many planets, every planet is Karaka of 10th house. So when Mars is positioned in the 10th house, you will get a government job, police job, military job, those type of security job. It will surely give you provide you a bread and butter job. That will be easier for you to achieve. On the contrary, Guru, because you have a lot of expectations from Jupiter, because it's a huge planet, but it fails to fulfill that dream, because we expect sky high things from him, but you can't achieve that much, because it's just sitting out there. It might not be as powerful in degree wise in everything, no? So that power diminishes because it's a soft planet. But if Mars is sitting there, no one is going to challenge his authority. Okay, this house belong to Saturn, so you can't sit there. He says, okay, it's my enemy's house, that's why I will be giving more, because I can beat my that person, the negative person in that house. I can beat him out. So I will be giving better results than Jupiter. That's why Saturn also gives better result in 10th house. Sun also gives good results. And many times Mercury fails, Venus fails, Moon also fails, Rahu gives good results. I won't be talking about Ketu. Ketu fails in every house actually. We don't consider him like the other planets, because it's the opposite. It's a planet of denial. We don't apply those rules on Ketu actually. Leaving Ketu, we talk mostly about even in the Atma Karaka planet. We don't consider, we don't take him in the list. We sometimes take Rahu also in that list, but we leave out Ketu, because Ketu is different. So sages have kept him always separate from others. So that's how everyone is giving result, but the worst result of 10th house will be given by Jupiter placed in 10th house. Even the same is for 9th house also. 9th house Sun is much better than 9th house Jupiter, because Sun is more powerful. They are ferocious fear planet, no? A Guru is not a ferocious, he doesn't have that much of, what to say, valor, power. He's an old person, all white beard, white hair, everything white. That type of, imagine that type of person. So he doesn't have that much of power. Even if he is good, but he can't wield his power. So Jupiter, though being a Karaka of 11th house and 2nd house, that's why these results come too less. Whatever our expectations is, whatever hard work you actually do, you never get 100% out of that, because Jupiter decides the way he decides. So you all have to understand why I haven't, it's nearly more than 60 days I have started this channel, and now I am speaking about Jupiter. I started with Rahu, Ketu, Saturn. I intentionally chose that delay. I chose to delay that thing, because Jupiter won't be giving results so fast, so easily. And you all have to understand a lot of astrology in order to decipher Jupiter. It's a big planet. He tests you. He is not Saturn, that because of his sheer hard work he will pay you. Guru has a bit of ego. They will hold back many results. So you all have to understand. And if someone is too much interested in visiting worshipping temples and all, there is Tarapit. Visit that temple. On some special occasions, offer prayer. Your Guru will get strengthened. So that's a very important thing. Everything will be taken care of. If your Jupiter is not, if someone is not getting married also, any female, they can go to Tarapit and offer a prayer there on special Thursdays or some Purnima and all. Offer a prayer, then that will come to your life. I haven't read that in any book, but my heart says that. So my intuition is speaking like that. So go to Tarapet. That's a place to worship Ma Tara. She is the representative of Jupiter. So if you offer prayer there, and go and donate something. Miss, I'm not telling about the donation which other people say. Miss, it's not the similar donation. Miss, at least donate something. Miss, you are not warding off your Jupiter. You have to please him also. So donate something nice. At least 3 kgs of yellow laddus, anything like that. Now you can't offer gold, but at least, and if someone is rich enough, at least go and offer 3 grams of gold in Tarapet. And if you can't, at least donate laddus and all, any yellow item. So that will start working for you. And go there, sit in that temple for at least few minutes, few hours. When you stay in those places, no, they are energized places. They are Shakti Peeths. So when you visit a Shakti Peeth, every Shakti Peeth has a significance. It denotes some certain planets. So when you go to those Shakti Peeths, that planet gets activated. The negative effect gets nullified. So they start like work like magic actually. They are Shakti Peeths, means they have that power, energy. You just have to visit that place. Once you visit those Shakti Peeths, they start work like miracle. Many people argue, no, why that's because people have been worshipping in that places from ages. So that place has become high of energy, positive energy. So once you enter that place, automatically, even if you don't worship, irrespective of the caste, creed, religion, you visit that place, you stay in that area, in that sanctum place, in that temple. Suppose you stay there for 1 hour in Tarapet, your guru will get activated automatically. Go and try that. I'm not asking for any money. And see the magic. Especially I'm talking about girls who are not able to get good groom, this boy. So visit that place. And once you get married, if you visit, it's not written in any book, but once you get married, visit with your husband within a year. So that bonding will become too strong, nice, healthy. That's all for the day. I will be signing off from here. Thank you.